Go ahead and find a comfortable reclined position, either with the legs extended out long, maybe using a bolster or even pillows or blankets to support the knees. We're taking a reclined butterfly by bringing the feet together, allowing the knees to splay open to the left and the right. Soften in the shoulders, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the awareness into the body, noticing any sensations you're feeling. Invitation to make a connection with yourself, bringing one hand to the heart and one to the belly. Deepening each inhale and exhale, really filling that lower belly with air. And as you exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine. Softening the face, unclench the teeth, relax the jaw. You can bring one palm, that lower palm, to rest on top of the other palm at the heart space. Invitation to set your intention here. What is it you desire? Once that's done, slowly come out of this, coming into a full body stretch. Extend the arms above the head, legs out long. And go ahead and just find some organic movements. Maybe you draw circles with the arms extended, going forward and backwards. Maybe you point and flex the feet. Just find what feels good for a few rounds of breath. And then eventually soften the bend in the knees. And send the knees over to the left for a breath, and then the right for a breath. Moving at your own pace. And then the next time you're over to the left, maybe you bring that left ankle and place it on top of the right thigh, deepening that stretch on the right side. Keep the breath soft. Invitation to close your eyes and maybe keep them closed as we move through this sequence, limiting any external distractions. Whenever you're ready, transition to the other side. Knees over to the right. Maybe you bring that right ankle on top of the left thigh. Notice how it feels, those sensations. Slowly transition out of this, coming back to the center, and then bring the knees towards the chest on an exhale. Maybe you massage the spine by rocking left and right, or even drawing circles, using your breath to guide you. Draw circles in one direction, and then reverse. Reconnect with that intention if your mind started to wander. Drive that right knee in towards the chest and extend the left leg out long. If you want, you can bring that left palm to rest on top of the left thigh. Just adding a little pressure, and then eventually come into a half happy baby or stirrup posture on the right side, flexing that right foot, the bottom of the foot parallel to the ceiling, keeping your breath soft. You can relax or soften that bend in that extended leg. Your next exhale, bring that right knee back towards the center and then send it out long. Drive that left or opposite knee in towards the chest. Same thing. You can place the right palm on top of the right thigh just to add a little bit of pressure in that front of the leg at that hip space. Your next inhale, reach for the left foot, and then exhale, settle into this stirrup posture on the left. Same thing, left foot parallel to the ceiling. Observe the sensations you're feeling. It's very easy for your mind to wander and the breath to become very harsh when the body feels physically challenged. So do yourself a favor, try your hardest to stay connected with that intention. From there, extend the left leg out long. Maybe you point and flex the feet or the toes, bringing the knees back in towards the chest. You can draw circles again, rock left and right. Maybe you extend the legs in the air, pointing and flexing the feet. We're eventually going to make our way onto our hands and knees. You can go straight there, or you can have a little fun and do some rocks, massaging that spine and the glutes. And then eventually sweep through center, coming into a tabletop. So on tabletop, your knees about hip distance apart, the tops of the feet connected to the mat, and the shoulders stacked over the wrists. A nice neutral spine, your version of neutral. Everyone's spine looks different. And then transition into your cat and cow. So inhale as you gaze up, and exhale as you round through the spine. Really draw that navel in. Find a nice rhythm for yourself. And maybe after a few rounds, you explore the space, maybe moving your body in unique circles, drawing figure eights with the hips, drawing circles with the head, just winding through the spine, just whatever you're needing in this moment. Make your way back into a neutral tabletop, and then exhale into child's pose. You can keep the knees and thighs together or find extended child's pose, bringing the toes together to touch and widening the knees. Arms extended above the head. Each exhale, the intention is to send the hips back towards the heels. Maybe you massage the forehead and temple by gently rocking left and right. Check in with your breath. You can stay in the center, or if you want a deeper side stretch, walk the fingertips off towards the left side of the mat, arms still extended. Take a few rounds of breath, and then make your way over to the opposite side, getting into that left side body. Each side is different, so just honor what you're feeling, what you're experiencing in this moment. From there, walk your arms back towards the center, come back to neutral. If you want, you can tuck the toes to get into the backs of the feet for a little bit. And then make your way into a puppy posture, sending the hips in the air, arms extended above the head, about shoulder distance apart or so, and melt the chest down. You can bring the chin to the ground or the forehead to the ground, whatever feels good for you. Getting into those underarms, getting into the shoulder space. And then exhale, make your way with your front body onto the ground. Massaging the front of the hip flexors and the thighs, and then come into a sphinx. A belly down back bend, shoulders stacked over the elbows, forearms connected to the mat, and arms parallel. If you want a little neck movement, inhale as you gaze up, and then exhale as you draw the chin down towards the chest. The legs extended behind you can be relaxed, or maybe you want a little more engagement so you can activate, turn on those glutes. You can bring the gaze over the right and the left side of the body or the shoulder. And then come into a rest, placing one cheek on the backs of your palms. Notice how the belly feels as you're breathing with that pressure from the ground. From there, coming back into a back bend variation, going into cobra. So bring the palms to the right, to the right and left side of the chest. Squeeze those elbows in towards the side. Soften the shoulders away from the ear and lift. If you want, you can extend the arms, finding a little more height before exhaling, lowering the chest and the tummy back down. You can extend the arms above the head or more full body stretch, and then exhale, slide the fingertips down. Think like you're making a snowman or snow angel rather. Bringing the palms to the sides of the thighs, squeezing the glutes, squeeze the thighs. Lift on an inhale, allow the chest to rise. Gazing out towards the tip of the mat, and then exhale to lower. Inhale, slide the fingertips back up, arms extended over your head, and then slide the forearms down, coming back into your Sphinx. Activate the glutes here if you want. Exhale, lower back down, coming into your rest. Reconnect with that breath. Bring the palms back to the side of the ribs. Inhale, find your cobra. If you notice your elbows are splaying out, really hug them in towards the side. And then exhale, send the hips back, come into your child's pose. Inhale, shift back into your neutral tabletop. Inhale that right arm up, coming into a thread the needle variation, but finding a little shoulder mobility. You can draw some circles in one direction and then eventually reversing. And then on your exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left. The left palm can stay by the side of the face, or you can slide or walk the fingertips up, extending the left arm. Or even wrap that left arm around the spine, bringing the palm to the back of the spine or hooking the fingertips at that hip crease. Being mindful not to just sink into that right shoulder, staying fully present and engaged. Bring that left palm back towards the side of the face. Inhale that right arm back into the air. And then exhale, bring the right palm down to meet the left. Inhale, extend the left arm in the air and find those circles. Use the breath to guide you. Reverse the circles, taking your time, receiving the feedback. Notice how it feels. And then inhale, find stillness. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring that left shoulder, left temple and ear to the mat. You can keep that right palm by the side of the face, or maybe you extend the right arm, sliding the fingertips towards the edge of the mat. You can also take that bind if you like, or maybe you try a few variations with that top arm. Hook that arm around the spine if you like. And then slowly coming out of this, bring that right palm by the side of the face, extend the arm in the air. Exhale, make your way back into your child's pose. You can find a little rock left and right if your child's pose, if the hips feel like they're up for it. And then inhale, shift your weight back forward, coming to a tabletop, and then sending the pelvis towards the ground, lowering all the way, coming back into that Sphinx. Keep the palms where they are, and extend the arms, pressing up, gazing towards the top of the mat or maybe towards the ceiling, stretching out the front of the neck. Can play with the head, gazing over either shoulders, lowering the elbows back down on an exhale. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other, roll circles. Before coming back into stillness, keep that right leg extended behind you, and then bend in the left knee, coming into a half frog variation. If at any point you feel any pinching or piercing in the hip crease or anywhere else, feel free to take your cobra variation or sphinx variation again. Moving to the other side, extend that left leg behind you or opposite leg and bend in the right knee. Taking this half frog variation on the opposite side. Return that right leg back to meet the left. And then bend, coming into a little quad stretch, bend that left knee, squeeze the heel towards the glute before lifting, finding a rise in the upper body. That left arm extended behind you, hooked onto the foot. Lower back down and reach for the right foot. Draw that heel towards the glute first, and then find a lift, pressing the chest up on an inhale, stretching out that shoulder. And then exhale, lower. From here, bend both knees, reaching for both feet. Forehead can come down. You can stay here if this is enough, or inhale, allow the chest to rise. Finding that back bend, full extension in the arms, stretching out the shoulders, squeezing the glutes, coming into a boat variation. Coming back down into your rest. And then whenever you're ready, if you're up for it, bending in the knees, reaching for the feet, arms extended out long. Take a full breath and then rise. Inhale, coming into this boat variation, really bow variation. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs. Find a lift in the chest, gazing out long. Full extension in those arms. And this is very intense, so take your time. Exhale to come back down. Transition back into your child's pose whenever you're ready on an inhale. If the breath has become rapid, go ahead and start to slow it down. Reconnect with that intention. If you want to get into the backs of the arms a little more, you can bend in the elbows, bring the palms together behind the neck and the head. Still slowing the breath, inviting that slow, steady inhale and exhale. Shift back forward. And then swing the legs over, making your way onto your back. So you can go straight there, curl into a ball, or if you want, you can windshield washer the knees a little more. Or maybe you find any other movement that works better for you. Eventually lowering the back, the spine onto the ground. Maybe you root the feet. Maybe you close the eyes. On your next exhale, come into a ball. Extend the right arm out long. Guide the knees over towards the left. Coming into this supine variation. Invitation to take this with one leg extended, the left leg extended with the right leg wrapped over. Bringing the knees back towards the center, extend the left arm or opposite arm. Same thing, if you're taking this with one leg extended, go ahead and do so. Bring the knees back towards the chest on an exhale. Maybe you extend the legs in the air, coming into an L shape, point and flex the toes, working the ankles a little more. Maybe you get into the knees, bending at the knees and straightening. Maybe you even pitter-patter the feet. Reminding the body that we're cooling down. If you want, you can take a happy baby. So reach towards the outer inner parts of the feet, or maybe the backs of the thighs if the feet aren't within reach. Keep the feet flexed or parallel to the ceiling. Toes facing towards the crown of the head, the back of the mat. Bringing the feet back down to the mat. Transitioning into Shavasana. Taking your time, you can keep the knees bent or legs extended out long. You can also use any props you have. Maybe you put a blanket beneath the neck. Put a bolster or pillow underneath the knees. Allow the breath to soften. And here we'll resist the urge to control your breath or your thoughts any longer. Allowing everything to flow in and out of you like air or even water. Your mind starts to wander, reconnect with that intention. Slowly bringing the awareness back into the body. If you want, you can come into a comfortable seat towards the edge of the mat with your eyes closed, or stay lying down in a reclined position for this brief meditation sequence. The theme for this meditation is creating conscious peace, internal and external. After you've found your comfortable position, take 5 deep belly breaths. Inhale, and exhale. That's 5. Inhale and exhale. That's 4. Continue on until you make it into 1. As you breathe, start to lengthen each inhale and exhale, breathing at a slower and longer pace. Keep your gaze out in front of you, or close your eyes if it's comfortable and safe to do so. Using your hands, make a connection with the body. Allow the palms to rest at the heart, belly, or any other place you feel will help you become more connected. Inhale, exhale. Revisit your intention for peace. Invite another body scan. This time, visualize the breath traveling throughout the entire body, starting from the foot, your right foot, and traveling up the right side of the body, making it to the crown of the head, and then making its way back down towards the left side of the body. Notice if your mind gets stuck or trapped at a certain limb or area on the body. If something becomes activated or triggered, maybe you identify what you're feeling and let it go. An invitation to lay your hands on any accessible areas that might be feeling this intensified energy. If you can, make a deeper connection with the floor beneath you. Grow a bit taller, lengthening the spine, sending the energy of the crown of the head upwards, rooting the tailbones down into the ground beneath you. Inhale, exhale. Invite peace into your mind. Envision it as if it were seated within arm's reach. Allow peace to come closer and closer until you feel it somewhere on the body. Touch that space. Using whatever exterior connection, let peace eventually seep into your pores. These next series of questions, I'll move through rapidly and allow your answer to be what comes into the mind first. What does peace look like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it look like? Where in the body does it exist in this moment? We'll move through that again, this time going backwards. Where does peace exist in the body? What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? Take the biggest breath you've taken all day, filling the lower belly with air, allowing the lungs to fill up. As you exhale, draw that belly in towards the spine, really expelling and releasing all of the energy, that breath within. Slowly bring your awareness back into the physical space. Reconnecting with the room, inviting slow, subtle movements into the body, reawakening your senses. As we close, recite that intention once more. Remind yourself for as long as you need throughout the days to come what peace looks like, where it exists within, and how you can create it for yourself and others. Take care.